Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're welcoming Bloomburrow to the mix, and as such, we're playing a deck that I picked up someplace else by a guy named UglyTater, which is like a LIFEGAIN Bat Tribal. And if playing a deck that's called LIFEGAIN Bat Tribal and has a bunch of brand new cards in it sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, this month's cover model for Abs of Steel magazine, Dr. You Can't Suck Yet. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You Can't Suck It. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on Untapped TGG. Deal was is I wasn't poking through Aether Hub. I said, let's go see what's going on in the meta, and Untapped GG had some stuff posted out there. So I picked something off of the, what kind of list was it called here? Let me look it up real quick. It was on the latest Untapped Mythic players, right? I just picked one of them random. And it's some guy named UglyTater. So thanks, UglyTater. I thought your deck looked particularly tasty, despite how ugly it is. And as far as I can tell, this is LIFEGAIN Bat Tribal. LIFEGAIN Bat Tribal. I love a good Orzhov deck. It feels good in my brain. And that's what we got going on. So what we're going to do is we'll take a look at the cards in this deck. We're going to talk a little bit about how this deck should work. And then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. And also, with the change in rotation, we're no longer going to be praying to our Dark Lord Toxroll. He has been retired. Stay tuned to see who we're praying to today. All right, so what do we got? We've got an enchantment where we gain a life every time a creature comes into play. We got a life-gainy 1/1 bat with flying. This guy gets bigger every time we gain life. That sounds cool. If we lose life, he gains flying and vigilance. And whenever he dies, you put his counters on a target creature you control. That is value, baby. Value. What is this? This guy, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. That sounds familiar. We got this guy who's got life gain and a little hand hate. This guy is crazy. Flying. It can't block. But whenever you gain life, your opponent loses life. So suck it. Plus, she can pop out Bebes. Amalia Bedelia, who gains... What does he do? Was it explores? Yeah, explores every time you gain life. So essentially, you can get land, take a look at the next card, and you can kind of scry a little bit. And then she gets Popo counters, essentially. And if you get up to exactly 20, then she destroys all creatures. That's nuts. I've never seen it happen. That could happen. Elas has got Death Touch, and whenever another creature you control enters, you gain a life. When an opponent dies, they lose life. So as you see, we were really just hammering our opponent. Right here, at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, each opponent loses life. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained and lost life this turn, you get a bat, and you can pay 2 to pay life, which is part of that whole equation, to draw a card. So this card has got tons of value mixed into it, which synergizes greatly with everything else you got going on. Gumdrop Poisoner puts out a food token, which you can sacrifice to gain life, and then you can put her out, which does -X to -X, to something equal to the amount of life you gained so far this turn. So that is incredible in this deck. Zoraline is a legendary bat, which has flying and vigilance. Whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. And whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you can pay 2 mana and 2 life. If you do, you can return target non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with an enemy counted on it, which means that you probably gain a life because it's coming into play. Sheoldred causes your opponent to lose life while you gain life as cards are drawn. This will make you can pick something. You pick bat, and it doubles the amount of times that thing triggers whenever it triggers. Alcatraz forces your opponent to discard, and if they can't, you draw. I think, a card. When an opponent does, yeah. And then whenever an opponent discards a land, you create a bat. So we get some flying bats, which will then cause you to gain life if you got Zoraline out. So as you see, the synergy here is strong. We got Virtue Persistence, which is creature destruction, a little bit of life gain. And then if you can finally make it up to 7 mana, which this is kind of an aggro-y deck, you can start pulling stuff back from anybody's graveyard, yours or somebody else's. We got a bunch of lands, including ones that do damage to you, which in this deck work fantastic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so what are we going to do with this? We're going to get out guys. We're going to try to gain life like crazy. Hopefully gaining life will actually cause your opponent to lose life. So even if we can't attack, we can just sit here and just cause them to passively lose life, like a great investment strategy. If we have flying for evasion, we can come at them. All of that is great, and hopefully that will kill them by the time we get to mid-game. All right, so that's it. That's the deck. Let's go out and do some damage. But before we do, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what's best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who lives within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we're playing against Bionier. All right, let's see if we can slow this guy down with a little death touch. We'll just shoot him. Let's turn off the goblin. I can't believe I lived that long with the goblin being active. All right, let's Amalia Bedelia and a little bat. All right, now I got to put up with that. Okay, 3 is what we got right now. Let's just go ahead and let's put out the Lunar Convocation. That's fine. All in. All right, we just got to keep up on our life gain. That's all. All right, down to 9. So Mono Red's not going to like life gain. That's going to be a big problem for it. We got to attack with both. Because I only got 1 life gainer in the whole mix, though. That's the problem. I'm down to 2. All right, this is it. Either I win or I don't. And a win! No math! Touchdown! Lava Bears! Alright, we're playing against gagicthemathering. 3 mana, 2 of it incredibly slow. This is slow too. Lots of slow mana. Keep. Alright, you gonna try to poison me? Is that the deal? We'll Deep-Cavern Bat on next turn, so you can take a look at your hand. Knowledge of your opponent's hand is always the best thing to do. Alright, that'll keep him from wiping the board. Let's Gumdrop this puppy. Okay, it says target attacking. So I can be tapped and it's still fine. I just gotta wait till he's tapped out. It's only going to cost me 2 mana. Or yes, 2 mana is available. Let's just keep it a nice even white at the moment. Who do I want to pick here? Let's go for Amelia Bedelia. No tax. So he wants to play with some Planeswalkers, huh? This is a weird deck that he's playing. All right, you're sucking it. You can't do anything, so I'll double bat it. All right, he's down to 8. He's pretty much killed himself with his own guys. You can't kill anything because nothing is attacking at the moment. You can try to take that one out, huh? Ooh, him, huh? All right, I'm toast here. Let's see what I can do. Come on. I don't think that's enough. He does have to be able to take somebody out. Yeah, you're going to wipe the board at this point? Oh, 4. I'm dead. I'll tell you, I'll let you guys watch me get killed. How's that sound? There you go. Defeat. Alright, we were playing against MyrddinCROW. Not a lot of creatures there. But there's a lot of life link or life gain. That'll get us someplace. Well, this is an interesting play set here. I gotta find out what we can do. A lot of creepy looking water. I think Hubert likes it a lot here though. Some giant footprints. I don't see any activity at all. Alright, while this seems peaceful, it seems also very boring. Thunder, 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 bats. You just gotta pin me down, suckerfish. I could do all of the above, I think. So he's just going to stun me constantly. Pay 2 life, draw a card. That might be the best way to go at this point. Heck yeah. Yeah! Talk about going nuts. Guess who's going to get pinned down in a second here? Right there. You're going to run out of cards, man. Alright, your creatures are dead. Alright, my channelers are going nuts. You're willing to sacrifice your guys. Alright. I don't even know what's happening at this point. Some sort of cascade. They seem to really like each other. All right, looks like the Great Thaw is over. I mean, I got one guy still pinned down for a couple rounds, but you're looking for more stunnage. All right, we win. 2 tiers in the bucket. Mother victory.
'Victory! 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 '
Alright, we're playing against Unknown 396. We're playing, we got 3 mana here. Slow, slow, and slow. Alright, we put this guy out. Hope we'll pick up a fast land on the next turn. Apparently not. What are you doing? Non-creature spell, 1 damage to each opponent. He's just coming after me. Alright, cool. Let's go do some life stuff. Always got to keep the pressure up. This guy might smoke us. You know, who knows? Alright, Sheoldred, man. Deal with the Black Queen. And I'm going to gain life off that deal? No, I'll gain life off of my card draw, which will be more pain to him. He's got 1 in the hand. I'll just let it go. Whatever. I'm not going to give up on Sheoldred. Poor Sheoldred. Oh, we survived. No, I can't afford life right at the moment. Two, let's see, that's 6. Plus it'd be additional. Just be 6. No, it'll be 7. Let's just play it conservative at the moment. Oh, I forgot about Sheoldred's kickback. That would have done it. And we win. Suck it, suckerfish. That's what you get for drawing cards. Suck it. And we're playing against Dre. Keep. Alright, we need to get into black quickly. At least 1 black. That's why I put that card out. Go after his hand. Looks like we're playing the same thing. I'm surprised he didn't try to Batman me. Alright, put that out slow. Get out one of these guys because they're so awesome. Swoosh in. My problem is I can't really attack. No. Yeah, that was disappointing. That thing's got vigilance on it, too. Let's double it. That's what bats do best, huh? No attacks. We just gotta play this game passively right now, like a sucker. Yes, he's getting the best parts of this deck at the moment. We're both gaining life too much at the point. There you go. You want to trade off, huh? Who do I want to kill? So it could be that my throne there was pulling the weight of the entire deck. Just trading off. Come on, kill him! Oh! We're at 26. He's at 4. He needs to get some defenders out. He's got 3 mana. Yeah, you're just putting some bats out. Alright, that's it. We win. I was going to try to do something tricksy, but apparently we didn't need to. Victory! Alright, playing against the epic Pwn Star. Alright, I'll keep. Everything that's fast. This guy's fast. Everything else is slow. We'll see what we can do. I'll be able to gumdrop on the next turn if I need to. Gumdrop's the one I don't want the most. Alright, we're going out slow then. See, this water flows like warm jello. It's kind of gross. Yeah, I didn't play any of that right. This should have been the card I put out. I could have put this guy out. As soon as I do, he's just going to get killed, though. He's playing mono black. Non-creature, non-land. That's all I got. Well, look, I got a guy. Are you just playing super discard? Is that the deal? Of course you did that. Of course you did. All right, Amelia Bedelia. Gumdrop Poisoner. Come drop it up. Alright, so you can't force me to discard any of my cards. That's good. You can just kill Amelia Bedelia. That'll cost him 3 life. Let's see what he's got in his hand. Cool. Let's go crack some skulls. This requires 4 additional, so I need more mana. Nice, 3 more mana would be really great. If we do this, we can get pumped. At which point, then we can beat Gix's butt. Alright, so he's losing life mightily. I still have nothing in my hand. I'm above 20. Killing himself for cards. That's 3 more life right there, baby. Do it some more. And you are dead. Good job, Super Bats. Your ability to reproduce is fantastic. Victory! Alright, so here we are with UglyTater's Bat Tribal deck. I'd heard, or I should say, I just saw some people talking about how Bats was a really good deck. That's pretty much as far as I got as far as YouTube was concerned. And so I don't know. So when I saw that this deck was available, I thought, yeah, I'll play it. Maybe this is that, those first couple of days where you get to play those decks when that are end up sucking because everybody's playing all the time. And that just might be this deck. The thing is, when I played it, I don't think it did as well, as it could have. It could just be me. Maybe it was me just trying to get used to the way that the deck plays. I ended up with a 55% win rate, which is great. But I picked this up off of like Platinumless players or something like that. What did they get? Let me just take a look real quick. He had 88% with it. So, it's somewhere between 55 and 88% win rate. I don't know which one it is at the moment. Still, it's going to be one of those decks that's going to do fairly well. You're going to see people playing it. Maybe it will get tuned up a little bit more. They always do. This deck has the ability to go nuts, to go totally ham on people. So I like that. I thought that was really cool. Altogether, it was a fun deck because of that. But let's go ahead and go through the thresholds. Let's try to figure out how this deck works. Number 1, who was my MVP, my most valuable player? I got to say, to me, it seemed a lot like it was Zorline the Cosmos color. Legendary Bat. I didn't realize it till just now that it was legendary. So you can only have 1 out of time, but The thing is, every time a bat attacked, you gained a life. And then you were also able to get non-land permanents with 3 or less from your graveyard back into the battlefield. And there's a lot of stuff of 3 or less in your deck. Your deck, as you can see, is mostly 2s. I gotta say, I kind of felt like Zoraline was the MVP of this deck, just because when it comes to the synergy and getting everything to work, having that multi-trigger, if you had multiple life-gaining things going on, yeah, Zoraline really helped with that. What else would I say was really good? I'd say Starscape Cleric was probably... Maybe that was the best card in the deck. It's just... Everything's so new right now. Just let's take a look around. You know, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Starscape Cleric. The reason why is because he's got that, like, the anti-life gain, right? Where every time you gain life, your opponent loses a life, and you had a lot of life gain going on here. This one also did the same kind of thing. If you gain life, your opponent loses 1 life. But yet these guys, you could put out multiple. You could do offsprings, which put out, you know, Cleric Bebes that did the exact same thing. I think you had to pay 5 to be able to do both of them, though, at the same time. I never had. This was a kind of almost an aggro deck to a certain amount. But I really dug the way that these guys took away life every time you gain life, and we were gaining life like crazy. The SS Channeler was the guy that went nuts. Whenever you gain life, you put a Popo counter on him. He's like the Spirit Soul Warden, something like that, whatever it was called. The guy that, the Voice of the Blessed, that's what it is. And he had Flying and Vigilance as long as you lost life this turn. That was the weird part. But that's why we have the pain lines in here. This guy. So that way you could go every way to make yourself lose life. So this guy could then have Flying and Vigilance. And then you passed his counters to other creatures you controlled. Okay, there you go. SS Chandler, you are the MVP of this deck. It was just, you guys, you were intense. And somehow between you and something else that was going on was just getting, like something was putting out bats. Yeah, the combos in this deck was just insane at times. All right, let's just give it to SS Chandler. This whole deck was great, but this guy was probably the MVP. All right, let's move on. Was this deck competitive? Between 55 and 85%, I'm going to say yes, this is a competitive deck. I'm not sure it's the most competitive. When I was going up against aggro, the aggros were kind of kicking this thing's butts. The thing is, you got mono red just wiping out your little guys. I just couldn't come out there fast enough. They'd have this deck cleaned, just killed before I could put together a good thing. Usually mono red had a horrible time against life gain, but with all of the anti-creature it's packing, this thing's a little slow to get started, and we needed a lot of life gain to go against it. So I kind of think this deck wasn't doing good in its current lineup against aggro, and especially mono red. But still, it was a competitive deck, so I'm going to give it points for that. Was it fun? Yes. Why is that? Because we had a lot to do in turn 1 and turn 2. The only thing that was bad is your lands were really slow. I kind of think that we needed to go with faster lands than what's in here. I know it kept saying, oh, we need to have dual color lands. Let's pay for the slow stuff. No, I think this deck maybe needs to be a little bit faster. Maybe the lands need to be adjusted. That'd be my next big move on this particular deck to try to make it work better. Because you have a lot of stuff that's early, but we had to pay for it slower because the lands were so slow. So I'm going to say, yeah, this deck wasn't as aggro as it could have been despite your creature's low mana values. Still, fun deck, could have been funner. Was this deck interesting? Yeah, like 1,000,000,000%. If I'd say anything about this deck, it was an interesting deck. It was cool to see Life Gain getting played. The new cards really were the star of the show, and their combo capabilities was just off the charts. So, yeah, I'm going to give this thing like 1,000,000,000,000 points for being interesting. All right, so let's add this thing up. Was this deck competitive? Yeah. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Yes. So with that, I'm going to give this deck an A+. I'm going to say it's well worth playing. I think it has room for improvement, but I think it's definitely a great deck to play. All right, so there you go. It's an A+ deck, and as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I'd highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.